for another deep dive. This time we're heading to India to explore a temple that's both steeped in history and shrouded in a bit of mystery. The Sri Azagiya Singhar Temple in Kanchipuram.
It's also known as the Velukai Temple, a name I'm hoping we can decode a bit later in our deep dive.
Yeah, Velukkai definitely has a certain mystique to it.
Yeah.
But before we get lost in the names, let's talk about what makes this temple so special. And I think a good place to start is its place among the Divya Dasams.
Ah, yes, the Divya Dasams. Essentially, they're the VIP lounge of Vishnu temples, 108 sacred spots where the divine is believed to have manifested.
108 temples. Wow, that's quite the pilgrimage. So where does our Velukai Temple fit into all of this?
Imagine a temple, not with a grand entrance, but one described as somewhat, shall we say, dilapidated. You might even wonder why it's considered so sacred.
Dilapidated, you say? That's interesting. Especially considering our sources describe 3 whole sanctuaries within this temple. One for the main deity, one for his consort, and one for Garuda, his ride. That doesn't exactly scream dilapidated to me.
It's a bit of a paradox, isn't it?
It is. Maybe that's part of the mystery we're about to unravel. Speaking of mysteries, what about this name Velukkai? Any insights into its meaning?
Well, it's believed to come from Velukkai, meaning the place where he stays. And Vel can also mean desire, implying that the deity chose this spot out of his own free will.
Oh, I like that. So it's not just a temple, it's the deity's chosen residence. That makes the whole dilapidated thing even more intriguing. Like, why would this powerful deity settle for a fixer-upper?
That's where things get really interesting. The main deity worshipped here is Lord Narasimha, Vishnu's fierce man-lion avatar. But it wasn't always this way. Originally, it seems, he was worshipped as Mukunda Nayaka, standing tall and facing east. Now he's Narasimha, facing west.
Whoa, a divine makeover. That's quite the shift. I'm guessing there's a story behind this transformation.
There is. And it involves Brahma, the creator god, attempting to perform a yagna, a sacred ritual, of course. But it seems goddess Saraswati, for her own reasons, wasn't too keen on this yagna happening. And so she enlisted a demon named Kapalika to disrupt it.
Okay, I'm getting some serious mythological drama vibes here. So how does Vishnu, or in this case, Narasimha, enter the picture?
Well, as the protector of the universe, Vishnu wouldn't stand for such shenanigans. He took on the ferocious form of Narasimha to battle Kapalika and save Brahma's yagna. The temple, as we see it today, with Narasimha as the main deity, could very well be a way of commemorating this divine intervention.
Talk about a dramatic origin story. But I'm also curious about the human side of this temple. Do the Alvars, those poet saints who wandered and sang about these Divya Dasams, have anything to say about Velukkai?
Oh, they did. 2 prominent Alvars, Thirumangai Alvar and Perialvar, sang hymns dedicated to this temple. Perialvar's hymns is especially interesting. It's almost like he's teasing Vishnu a little bit about appearing in different forms in nearby temples.
Oh, I love a little divine banter. What did he say?
Well, he talks about how Vishnu, as Krishna, defeated the evil king Kamsa. Measured the 3 worlds in just 3 strides. And then he playfully asks if all those feats tired Vishnu out, which is why he's standing still at Velukkai and lounging in a reclining pose at another nearby temple.
That's hilarious. It feels so relatable, like he's having a lighthearted conversation with the divine. But these hymns aren't just witty poems, right? They must hold some deeper meaning.
Absolutely. They offer a glimpse into the spiritual and cultural landscape of that time, showing us how people experienced their faith centuries ago. And speaking of powerful deities, another figure who had interesting things to say about Velukkai was Divyakavi Pillai Perumal
Iyengar,
a scholar and poet who wrote verses dedicated to 108 Tirupati temples, including this one.
So what was Iyengar's take on the Sri Azagiya Singhar Temple? What did he have to say?
His verses highlight the importance of surrendering to the divine. He even asks this thought-provoking question: is there any salvation for those who don't surrender to the Lord's divine feet?
Wow, that's a pretty direct question. What's his answer?
He uses the story of Hiranyakashipu, the demon king who was ultimately vanquished by Narasimha, to illustrate his point. Hiranyakashipu, blinded by arrogance, refused to acknowledge Vishnu's power, but his own son, Parada, remained a devoted follower, even facing his father's wrath.
It's that classic battle between faith and ego. I see where he's going with this.
Exactly. He's saying that true surrender, like Prahlada's unwavering devotion, is the path to liberation. And where better to seek that surrender than at the feet of Lord Narasimha in Velukkai?
You might be wondering, what can I learn from this temple? Well, Iyengar's verses offer a powerful insight. True surrender to the divine is the path to liberation. And this temple, with its fierce and protective deity, seems like a perfect place to contemplate that. But beyond these profound ideas, what about the everyday experience of the temple? What's it like to actually visit?
Well, when you think about the spiritual value of the Sri Azagiya Singhar Temple, it's not just about the grand narratives or the awe-inspiring deity. It's about the intimate connection devotees feel with Lord Narasimha. And that devotion finds expression in various ways, including through vibrant festivals.
I bet the energy during those festivals is incredible. If our listener were to visit today, what are some things they could realistically expect to see and experience?
Well, you wouldn't find towering gateways or elaborate structures, but you would see the three sanctuaries, each holding its own significance, and you'd feel the weight of history in the weathered stones. You might even witness the devotion of those who continue to visit and pray. The true essence of the temple lies in the spiritual energy that permeates the place.
It sounds like a journey for the soul, peeling back layers of time to connect with something timeless. But let's be honest, we've talked a lot about the temple's dilapidated state, and this raises an important question. What about its future?
That brings us to a crucial point. Not just about this specific temple, but about our responsibility towards these ancient treasures. What's at stake is more than just bricks and mortar. It's the tangible embodiment of history, faith, and cultural identity. When a temple like this falls into disrepair, a piece of our collective heritage fades away.
It's like losing a library or watching a museum crumble. We risk losing irreplaceable knowledge, art, and a sense of shared history. But what can we do? We're just two voices on a podcast. Can we really make a difference?
Well, that's where the power of awareness comes in. By talking about these hidden gems, by sharing their stories, we can spark curiosity and inspire others to appreciate their value.
Yeah, like a ripple effect.
Exactly.
Even small actions, when multiplied, can have a huge impact.
Absolutely.
And it all starts with recognizing that we're all part of a larger story, a story that includes these ancient treasures.
And let's not forget the power of art and storytelling. Those hymns we discussed, the myths, even this conversation we're having right now, they all help to keep the spirit of these places alive.
Right. It's almost like we're rebuilding the temple in our minds, even if we can't physically restore its stones. And that mental image, I think, can inspire action, donations, or at the very least a greater understanding of the past.
Precisely. It's about ensuring these ancient treasures continue to resonate with people, to remind us of the enduring power of human faith and creativity.
Well, this deep dive has been quite an eye-opener. We've journeyed to a faraway land, explored a temple with a fascinating past, and uncovered a story of devotion, mystery, and, a bit of an urgent need for preservation.
It's been an illuminating journey, and I hope our listener is feeling that same sense of wonder and responsibility.
To our listener, thank you for joining us on this adventure. We hope you've come away with a newfound appreciation for the Sri Azagiya Singhar Temple and all the other hidden gems waiting to be discovered around the world.
And until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and remember that preserving our shared cultural heritage is a responsibility we all share.
Next time on The Deep Dive, we'll be exploring the history of cheese. Until then, happy exploring.